Greetings in Jesus' wonderful name and welcome to Riverside Chats. I began a series on Rachel. I want to continue with that series today. We are looking at what Rachel teaches us as we look at both good and bad qualities. We all have negative and positive about us. Rachel is human like we are. We feel Paul's dilemma. That which I don't want to do, I find so easy to do. That which I must do is so difficult to do. Rachel teaches us that we need to be content. The Bible tells us godliness with contentment is great gain. The Apostle Paul penned those words. Paul knew what it was to be imprisoned for the gospel. He writes from a Roman cell, the prison epistles, Colossians, Philippians, Philemon, and Ephesians. In the book of Philippians, he talks about joy. Philippians 4:4 declares, "Rejoice in the Lord always." And again, I say rejoice. If you want joy, real joy, wonderful joy, let Jesus come into your heart. Your sins he'll wash away. Your night he'll turn to day. Your life he'll make it over anew and then come in to stay. If you want joy, real joy, wonderful joy, let Jesus come into your heart. Paul knew what it was to abound with much blessing. Paul knew perils of the sea. He was shipwrecked. He was in the ocean, rugged seas, for a whole night and a whole day. He knew what it was to be hungry. You know, we eat too much. We were talking about eating, my wife and I, today. That how often we eat more than we need to. We have such an abundance here in America. And sometimes when we're bored, we resort to eating. I maintain, if you have 3, 4, 5 meals, some people eat little every meal, or some people even eat more meals than that. Sometimes we eat 2 meals for ourselves, and then the rest for the doctor. That's why we are so unhealthy sometimes. Rachel had to know that godliness with contentment is great gain. Now, if God wanted her to be without children, that was God's will for her. It's not easy to take. Often the extension of the love between between spouses is a child. I was married the first time and we had 2 children. I married my second wife, Cheryl, and we are married for about 37 years now, a long time. We loved each other, and as soon as I married her, the Lord put in my heart that she needed to have children of her own too. We have 2 from the first marriage and 2 from the second one. Often, a child is an extension of a couple's love for each other. The moment Joseph is born, Rachel was not satisfied. You see, God had shut a womb initially, and then he opened her womb. She had the best of all of Jacob's children. He was more loved. His father made him a coat of many colors. Now, favoritism is a bad thing. Now, some of your children may relate better to you than others. But don't show it openly that you prefer one to another. Sometimes privately in your heart you can do that. Often, as humans, we relate to people as they relate to us. And our children are not exempted from that. Often, a child that is more loving, a child that is more caring, is one we appreciate better, but never vocalize. your love for one child above the other. This is devastating. One of the problems of the patriarchs, when I talk about the patriarchs, I'm talking about the fathers of the Jewish nation. One of the problems was favoritism in the family. Abraham favored Isaac, the son of promise, and never really embraced Ishmael. Sarah would chase Hagar from the household with Ishmael because she was intimidated by Ishmael. You see, Ishmael was the firstborn, but often God does not choose the firstborn. He chose the secondborn. It's amazing sometimes in our inconsistencies and our mess up in life, God works through it all for his own ends. We're talking about favoritism in the patriarchs. We think of Isaac. Isaac loved Esau, his older son. Jacob and Esau were the same age. They were twins. It's just that Esau was born first. He was the firstborn. But Rebekah loved Jacob. He was mama's boy. And Jacob showed much more promise. Jacob did not despise his birthright. Even God, through all of the intricacies and all of the favoritism, he too declared, Esau have I loved, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. God doesn't hate anyone. What is in reference there is the reference to Esau's evil ways. God loved Jacob's ways. You remember Jacob fought with the angel? The angel there was the pre-incarnate Christ. He fought with him till the breaking of the day. It's amazing that the God of heaven, Jesus Christ in his pre-incarnate form, would allow Jacob to fight with him and contend with him. He laid down some of his prerogatives of power to allow Jacob to be his wrestling partner. But Jacob had a limp from that time on because he was struck in the thigh by the pre-incarnate Christ. But he said, I will not leave you until you bless me. We are talking about favoritism in the patriarchs. Jacob had problems of his own. He preferred Joseph to all of the sons. And God does prefer him too. It's amazing. In our fallen state, God works through and God weaves his providence, his plan through all of the intricacies of our situation, our failures. Oh, his brothers hated him. They hated Joseph because he was good. He was the dreamer. He would be the deliverer of all of Egypt and all of Jacob's household. Jacob favored his son through Rachel more than all of the other sons. With that, animosity grew. Contention grew in the family. Sometimes just to be content solves a lot of problems. Rachel could have been content with just having Joseph. Joseph was handsome. He was beautiful. He was smart. His father gave him more love and favored him more than all of Leah's sons put together. Leah's sons were mean, some of them. Reuben slept with his own father's concubine. When Jacob gave the blessing to all of his sons, some of the blessing sounds as curses. Then there was Simeon. He was such a fighting machine and so wicked in heart. When his sister Dinah was raped by this man who wanted to marry her because he loved her so much, and Dinah was happy with the arrangement. He devises a plan to kill all the males in the tribe. Jacob was infuriated. He was so mad, not only with Simeon, but Levi. Simeon and Levi had joined forces to concoct such an evil plan. God answered a prayer for you that you've prayed all your life. Have you prayed? Oh Lord, if only I could get my PhD. Lord, if I only could earn $1,000 more. Lord, if I only can get this certification. And you want another one and another one. You are not satisfied. Maybe you've said, if only I could be a millionaire. And now you're saying, if only I could be a billionaire. And now you're saying, well, maybe I'll be the first trillionaire. We don't have any trillionaires in the world. Elon Musk is the richest man, followed by Jeff Bezos. And then there are many billionaires after that. Money can take you nowhere. You don't take anything from this life. Are you content? Do you want more certificates, more degrees, more property? You know, God taught me a lesson. Earlier on, my wife and I bought several properties. And it didn't work out and we got rid of them. Just this summer, God had prophesied that he would give me a basket full of summer fruit. And it came this summer. I am so happy to get rid of them. Now we don't have much as I thought I would, but godliness with contentment is great gain. All I need is daily bread. You take nothing with you. All of our kids are settled and they're doing well. God's going to bless them. How many more promotions do you need? How many more side hustles do you need to engage in? Godliness with contentment is great gain. Notice, not only contentment, but godliness with contentment. We want more and more. The more money you make, the more you spend. Little is much in the hand of God. Be happy with your spouse. Be happy with your children. Be happy with your house. Some people, they are doing new adventures and new great projects when they're 70 and 80. Oh, by then you should just relax and enjoy your days. Enjoy your money. As we have a quest for more and more, sometimes some things and some people suffer. You know, if Rachel was just happy with Joseph, Benjamin would not be born. Benjamin grew up without his biological mother because his mother died in childbirth. Joseph messes up too, or he has a less than an ideal situation. Maybe if his mother lived, his brothers would not have hated him that much and sold him into slavery. They had more opportunity with the death of his mother. In this session, I endeavored to expound the truth that godliness with contentment is great gain. Be godly. Be happy with what you are. Don't try to match up with the Joneses. Be happy with what God has given you. Live a fulfilled life. Like Paul, may you say, I've learned in whatever situation I find myself, there were two, to be content. Godliness with contentment is great gain. God bless you and love you.